got Scalar 2 loaded up here. Sorry about that. All right, we'll keep it simple. I'm gonna not even try to do anything too crazy, but something that naturally works for me. So I'm not gonna talk too much, but I'll talk when necessary. So let's get this started. Generally, I start with a genre in regards to the scales. Um, I really like trap melodies and such, so we're gonna start with random chord progression from the trap genre. Sometimes, like in Logic, it won't play sound from Scalar unless you hit play first. Alright, I love this progression actually. I've used it a few times. So this is what it sounds like bare minimum. Okay. So how do you take something that simple and make it more complex, right? Because if the beat played this over and over, obviously that'll get boring. And it's actually pretty basic. If anyone knows how to really utilize this perform function better, please let me know. A lot of times when I use this, I felt like it does the same type of melodies, even if I switch it up. Like, well, I guess you can freak with this. What I'm going to do, just one more example. Let's see. It's not bad. I'm gonna show you guys how to do this from scratch. I like haptic chords on my desktop on my Mac because it allows you to add a little more stuff to it, like extra root notes and stuff, making your chords a little more complex. I'm sure you can do it here, but I keep everything pretty simple. And I'm gonna show you how we go about it. All right, so first things first, obviously I have the chord progression here. Right, so let's record that in. All right. So we got this little basic chord progression. You can change the timing and everything inside of Scalar, but I'll show you real quick how to do that. So I guess it'll be helpful for some people. So for instance, if I want to make these chords actually longer, instead of being half a bar each, go down here to sequence, and you see where it says playback time is here. Just double it. That would make the chord actually play for a whole bar. Okay. But obviously you have to change this on each one of the chords. But for now, I'm gonna do it the way I normally do it. So it's always good, as I said before in previous videos, I like to start off with like a grand piano because that generally allows you to get a good perspective on how everything's going to sound before you add these chords or the melody to a different instrument. Steinway's pretty good, if I can spell it right. Steinway grand piano, throw that there, take this here, put this here. You can mute Scalar now. One thing you want to always do is know what key you're in so that everything else you do in your beat is always going to be in the same key so it sounds correct. So this is actually an F minor scale. So you know I'm muting Scalar. Keep it here. Type in F minor so I don't forget. I'm also going to change it up here because this does help out in some instances with the sequencer. Because it already has everything in that scale, as well as any loops you may want to use in your project from the Apple loops are going to be in that scale as well. Sorry, I'm vaping as well. All right, so as we see, that's what it sounds like. Okay, hit the pencil icon. Tap on your MIDI. We got it right here. So this is a 2-bar progression, but we want it to be 4 bars. So what I'm going to do actually is come here, drag this out to 4, put my loop there. Let's come back in here. Okay. Drag across. Separate these chords. Now I could stretch them all out so that there's not a break there. My bad. I also didn't drag the roots over. Okay. But what I'm going to do here is actually make a melody first. So, put this up here, tap it, hit copy, tap in the section or the track of the sequencer where you want to copy at. I'll put paste that place. Paste that place it. Sorry, get tongue twisted. Next thing, I'm going to tap this sequencer, hit select all, turn these all to 16th notes. I've showed you guys this before, but like I said, this is going to show you from Scalar, if you haven't used Scalar or haven't seen my videos on chords and melodies before, how you can go about taking that one chord progression and adding, making a whole song out of it. So generally, I usually keep the root notes where they are. I'm going to switch it up to this. So I'm going to put this here, hit this one here, this one here. What I'm doing is just spraying them across first bar. Let's see what that sounds like. Kind of basic, but I'm here to show you the basics so you can go further. Now, to make this not sound too much of the same, see how my first bar and second bar kind of go in the same melody as in from bottom to top. So what I'm going to do is actually have these more spread out. I'm going to bring this one over here, bring this one back. Okay. I'm going to do the rest here. Okay, so we got chords and melody. I'll duplicate this so we can just see what this sounds like on a basic level with the same instrument. Now, I want to take this melody a little more, make it a little more complex. So I'm going to hit my pencil, and I'm going to add this here. Let's go to the chords, make them a little more alive, drag them all the way out. What I'm going to do here is actually add a little rhythm in here. So, boom. added some new notes, so make sure they're in scale. Now you see how that kind of messed everything up. So what we're gonna do is actually put it back. And what we're gonna do is actually add a little flavor to this here. So put this here, copy, take the header here, paste. Not sure why I did that. I just add a little bit of movement to the chords. Not gonna get too crazy. See what this sounds like. All right, and then the last thing we could do with this, go back to scalar, solo it, and we'll get a little melody from here as well, so we can switch it up. And I'll show you what I mean. So let's go over here. I'm gonna do melody, comment, hey. All right, so let's record this in. Actually, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna make all these longer so the melody plays out longer. So put these all to ×2. Okay, delete this and we'll re-record it. And you can hear. Sounds a little weird because I got a scalar in the background playing, which is fine. So we're going to put this right here. Beat that. So. And for this, use up an octave. And change the color, even though it's pretty obvious it's different just by looking at it. But that can be for like the verse. Now, did the chord sound go with it? Let's see. They sound alright, but I feel like it's gonna make it sound too much like the chorus. Next thing would be to get your bass. So we're gonna use bass that comes with Logic, just because in case you guys don't have any third-party apps. When it comes to bass lines, you want to be simple, but you can always add your flair to kind of do whatever you want. It all stems down to a bass, to like the roots or the root notes of your chord progression, and then you can add rhythm to it. You also can just place your 808s the same location as your kick. So you can make your kick melody or kick MIDI, copy that MIDI, put it where your 808 is, and then on the MIDI in the MIDI track for the 808, you then can stretch them out and add different variation with where the notes are to give it different sound and movement. But let's come here first. Hopefully it sounds decent in regards to the bass for this. So we're going to delete all these top notes, delete, delete these extra notes that we made for the rhythm. Delete that. Delete this. Take this here, drag it over. Now every 808 synth you use, it's gonna be a little different where like the key spot is. Like this is on in the first octave, so obviously not really getting much sound out of that. But let's transpose it. Now this bass needs a little help for me to get it out, get the sound out there. So I'm gonna put some distortion on it. I like distortion too. It's a little more flavor to it. Lower these chords down a little bit and this melody down. Now, like I said, I'm not gonna go too crazy with it, but this is a very simple bass line. You definitely can freak it, adding the notes in different parts of the keyboard. Give it a little bit different feel. So, for instance, I could do something like this. So that's pretty much it in regards to a very simplistic way to show you how you can take your chords out of Scalar 2 and create a track with it. I'm gonna add a drummer real quick just to make a real quick little beat with it. Like I said, this ain't gonna be nothing special. As usual, I say that all the time. I probably should stop saying it. But just to give you an idea, so probably use a hold on. Okay, we're doing too much now. I'm gonna use a hip hop drummer. And as usual, to give it its full effect, we'll just have a little intro, probably with the melody first. Paste this here, go here, this, I'll loop this, okay, this. Like I said, this ain't gonna be nothing crazy, so it's gonna be a little bit repetitive here. Actually, what we'll do is this. Copy. beasts. Every single separate one of these drummers you have, actually, when you change the parameters, will modify them a little bit. Well, not a little bit. They'll just differentiate. So everything I'm doing here isn't going to affect the first loop. See how it's different settings? We'll get into more on that in a different video. But for the basics here, this is what we got. All right, but yeah, like I said, so that's simple right there. Like I showed y'all, and or should I say, as I spoke about in the beat block video, Scalar 2 is a great tool to get your production started and to get you some ideas flowing as well. And that was just a few examples just now on how you can use it to make your song with just a chord progression that you develop with Scalar 2. Anyway, I'll be coming back with some more videos soon. Much love. I do appreciate all the support. If you guys could subscribe, share, like, all that good stuff, and comment below anything else that you want me to further elaborate on, any videos you guys want to see. I will have a video coming out sometime next week on the King of Bass app. But anyway, much love, stay creative, and keep making beats.